Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry I've been gone for so long, but not long after getting back from FanX, I realized that my entire vlogging schedule from now until about a month from now, with the exception of a few things like Hobbit Day and a couple other things, is completely empty. I came down with what is known as con crud. I got sick. For the first few days it wasn't that bad. I'm like, yeah, I can deal with this. And then a couple of days ago, it was like I got hit smack in the face. I was barely able to get out of bed. It was just bad. So I've been taking as much vitamin C as I can, drinking things like pineapple juice and orange juice to try and loosen things up. And I'm still not completely over it, so if I sound a little bit off for the next few days, that is why. Now that the convention is over, I've got 2 more adventures coming up. One of them I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do because it's coming up in just a few days, and that's going to be a really, really long 14-mile hike up to a local reservoir to take pictures. Like I said, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make it or not. Maybe I can talk somebody into giving me like a ride, like part of the way up there just to the trailhead, because as it is I'm walking on the road that's like 5 miles and the actual trail's only like 2 miles. So yeah, that's gonna be pretty crazy. And that'll be the last you'll hear of Lord of the Rings for the rest of the year. But my next big adventure, that is the main subject for today. My next big adventure it's a doozy. When I took a plane trip with my family up from Southern California up to Washington State. We stayed for a couple weeks and then came back. I have not been on a commercial airliner since then. It's been about 26 to 27 years since I have been on an aircraft, and exactly 4 weeks from today, on October 18th, 2019, I am going to be hopping on another airplane and flying to the other side of the country, specifically to North Carolina. Now, why am I doing this? I'll get to that in a minute, but first of all, I wanted to say, not only is this my first time on a commercial airliner in over 25 years, this is going to be my very first time flying solo, so I'm kind of nervous about it. I've been doing a lot of research about baggage restrictions and security and what to expect, looking at both of the airports I'm going to be going in and out of so I can get at least somewhat familiar with the layout, and working out rides and things like that. Looks pretty good so far. The only thing I'm honestly worried about is the security. Back when I was like 7 years old, security consisted of going through a metal detector and putting the stuff on a conveyor belt to go through an x-ray machine. After that, that was literally it. Now there's a whole big thing of taking out all the electronics and putting them in trays, and you're taking off your shoes and all this stuff, and there's all these liquid restrictions. Yeah, so that makes me a little bit nervous, and crowds make me nervous, and I am nervous about acting nervous in an airport, because when you act nervous in an airport, people start getting a little suspicious, but I am naturally nervous, so I'm going to need to think of ways to calm down. More on that as time gets closer, but yeah, both very excited and very nervous. But we're basically going to be exploring the Smoky Mountains on the border between North Carolina and Tennessee. And I've never seen those before. We're hoping to see some fall foliage. And anyway, it looks good so far. Any further prayers or good wishes or whatever would be appreciated, especially in the time leading up to it. Both extremely excited and extremely nervous. This is going to be huge. So yeah, that's going to be 4 weeks from today. My biggest problem at this point is the size restrictions for carry-ons. Now, I'm flying with Delta because they were the only airline that had a non-stop flight that was not a red-eye. It was a toss-up between, with non-stop flights out of Salt Lake City, it was a toss-up between Delta and American was the red-eye, and with the transportation the way it is, red-eyes would be just a bad idea, since I live about 2.5 hours away from the Salt Lake City airport. And since it's been so long since I've flown anywhere, and this is my first time flying solo, I didn't want to bother with any connections, so yeah, Delta was the only one I was left with. And they've got some very, very strict luggage restrictions. I don't just mean the TSA restrictions. I'm talking restrictions about the size of carry-ons. And we don't happen to have a bag that is bigger than a small backpack, but smaller than the size restrictions. This is the closest one we've got. It's about an inch over the restriction, so I'm hoping if I use like a strap to shrink it down a little bit, I hope it'll fit. Some of them use a box that you put them in, and since it's squishy and soft-sided, I'm hoping I'll be able to just stick it in the overhead rack, no problem. But yeah, luggage is my current challenge, so any tips about that I would really appreciate. Taking a train is one thing, taking an airplane is something completely different, mostly because of the luggage restrictions and the security. Those two things are totally different from taking a train. So yeah, any tips, tricks, prayers, bring them on. So yeah, that's about all I can tell you about the upcoming trip. Like I said, excited and also extremely nervous. I'll probably come back and report once I have started packing. Once I've found a bag that actually fits the restrictions, I can actually fit my stuff, because I'm going to be out there for about 10 days. Ooh, and I cannot afford checked baggage. A checked bag each way with Delta is $30. That's $60. At that rate, it would be definitely cheaper to get a new bag within the range rather than pay the checked luggage fees and just bring something huge. So, plus I'm also paranoid about people losing my stuff. And I know Delta's supposed to be really good with that. They're supposed to be one of the best airlines in the industry, but anyway, so question of the day. Tips, tricks for flying solo for the very first time. Let me have them. Please drop a comment below if you have any tips, tricks, or well wishes, or whatever. Go ahead. Sorry, my voice was already going. So, I'll see everybody again later, and until then, God bless, and may the Force be with you.